Hello, I'm Amjan, the brutal dark fighter. So I went to Rugio Ruins yesterday and I came across this statue. Well, this was not my first time seeing it and I'm always curious as to who the statue depicts whenever I came across it. However, this was my first time to actually do an investigation about it. The statue depicts a woman, obviously. The woman must be a goddess, probably. It makes sense that this goddess is one of the 12 legendary gods. So, who is she? This statue has no head, which makes it harder for me to recognize her. However, I noticed that she is holding a scepter or staff in her hand. There are only 6 goddesses among the 12 legendary gods. Among the 6 goddesses, only Sophis, the former goddess of wisdom, holds something in her right hand. And it's not even a scepter or staff like this statue, but a thin vertical straight line rod. Looking closely at the scepter, or staff, the crystal at the center will catch your eye. Regardless of what the crystal is, by turning around the statue I saw something interesting. The crystal at the back is glowing. It could be just the reflection of light, isn't it? However, that is not the case. As I get off from that spot and investigate in other parts of Rugio Ruins, I notice that at the arch entrances towards the sweater cliff and the strum road above, you could see a structure which resembles the head part of the staff. However, the crystal at the center is glowing for the one towards the strum road, while the other one towards the sweater cliff is not. It seems to me now that the staff holding by this statue has its crystal really glowing at the back, while the front is not. Hence, it is not really the effect of light but probably the crystal's characteristics. Without that, it's really hard for me to determine who she is. The linings of her clothing are also barely visible, so I decided to leave the statue and attentively look around for more clues. I, then, discovered something again. Another statue leaning at the ruined stairs where Mortal was at the top. How couldn't I notice it before? Yeah, by looking attentively you will notice this statue. The first time I saw this, the only goddess that came into my mind was Specia, the goddess of species. Reason? Well, it's because of this. Only Specia and people very closely related to her have that huge pointed, feather, thingy in the head. I wonder why is it only on the left side of her head that has the pointed thingy? It should be placed in both sides of her head. This thought made me look back and compare the design of Sightseeing in Toram Online and Rugio Online. I noticed that the pointed thingy at the right side of the head of Sightseeing was lost in Toram Online too. So, with this statue in Sightseeing right now, I could see the consistency. The single pointed thingy in one side of the head was intended, whether it was for lore purposes, or just for the sake of remodeling the character's design only. But, if it was for lore purposes, what happened to the other pointed thingy in their heads? Anyway, a few meters away from her, I discovered something. The staff, like those of the statue that I investigated first, has been lying on the ground near the second statue. It was too close to the statue near Morales' stairs. With that discovery, it could lead into the conclusion that the first statue and the second statue in the Rugio Ruins are one and the same person. It's really hard to do this kind of investigation since the place is in ruins now. So I looked up for YouTube videos and came across a video from Evanescentris. This was Rugio Ruin during the alpha test and the second statue, and the investigation was obviously the one that we can see in the picture. Looking closely at the picture, the staff was there holded by the goddess, but one thing that stands out in my eyes was the wing. I really thought that the other wing was only broken or lost during the attack of Brutal Dragon Diesel. However, by seeing the old Rugio town back then, this goddess originally has only one wing on her. But, who could she be? Specia, the goddess of species, Specia, did not have wings like that. Her wings was like that of those Grushes, the goddess of courage. It could be Sealzaga then? However, Sealzaga has 2 wings and her dress doesn't resemble like that of statue. Could she be the girl behind the legend? The girl has the scepter, staff at her hand, however, the head part of the scepter, staff was different. We haven't seen Specia nor the girl yet in the Toram Online storyline, all we can do is assume, theorize, and speculate things. Aside from the questions I mentioned, does this statue remind you of something, in particular, of someone? One-sided pointed thingy, one-sided wing, and girl? Well, that reminds me of the girl in the loading screen. This girl is very similar to the statue, don't you think? But, who exactly is this girl from the loading screen? The more we investigate the mysteries on Toram Online, the more it leads us back to this girl. Who could she be? Who is she? In the end, the investigations I have done only sprouted to much more mysteries. I hope this blog somewhat helps you learn something about the game's lore, Carrot.